Welcome to Insights in Business. Our guest today is Rose Klukas, and Rose is the Economic Development Officer for the City of Campbell River. Rose, thanks so much for making time today in your very busy schedule.
It's my pleasure to be here today, Mary Ruth.
And you know, it would be busy on any day, but we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so I can't even imagine how that amps up your role.
There is no question. Economic development is, I often say, not for the faint-hearted, and we're always pivoting on a dime. And I know that that's a phrase that is used quite a bit in different sectors, but that's the same happened for us. And you know what? I came back from a business trip March 13th, and things changed very rapidly after that. And in economic development, we really did take a close look at what programs we had planned, our work plan for 2020, and how could we quickly pivot to support our local business community.
So once you got back into Campbell River and you realized the Prime Minister had made his announcement that day, we were in a global pandemic, and what was happening behind the scenes at the city?
So a number of people were sent home to work remotely, and I was one of those people. And, you know, it was easy to do my job remotely. And the first thing that I kind of took stock of with my team is how can we reach out to our business community, especially in this time where now we were, you know, at home, not able to get out. So one of the first things we did very quickly was implement twice a week business Zoom meetups. We subscribed to Zoom and became Zoom experts like the rest of the world, and began offering Wednesday morning and Thursday evening sessions with the opportunity to just touch base and listen to what from our business community and what were they experiencing. Right. But we also wanted to offer actual tangible tools to support them through this process. And so we had workshops. In fact, we had some e-commerce workshops. We had guest speakers that talked about computer security. You know, I think one thing that COVID had showcased was some businesses were not prepared for this online world that we live in today. Right. You know, I think it's the other thing I really realized very quickly is we have some fantastic businesses here in Campbell River that really did pivot very quickly and realized that in order for them to survive, they had to embrace this new way of doing business.
Now, you are also in the middle of a Nexstream challenge, were you not?
Yeah, so we've been really looking at supporting innovation and technology and growing a technology ecosystem here in Campbell River. It makes sense for businesses that exist here. In fact, it makes sense in the sectors that are important to Campbell River's economy. But we also know, and I think COVID has again highlighted the need for innovation. Right. And so through a series of good fortune events, the city has entered into a partnership with Campbell River Area Angel Group, and with a lot of their expertise and resources. In 2019, we launched Nexstream 1.0. Okay. And so kind of a series of 4 tech challenges. 2 or 3 weeks ago, the first round came to an end, and 2 people were winners, and $125,000 worth of prizes were handed out. And the point to that is these businesses now can grow their businesses with this extra capital. Okay. It's showcased Campbell River as a community of innovation. And of course, we're looking at drawing new businesses into Campbell River as well. Right.
Now, is the whole approach of embracing technology and trying to get tech to come to town to supplement the fact that forestry and mining and fishing has not been so prevalent in the last 5 to 10 years?
So those sectors are actually still strong parts of Campbell River's economy today. And of course, historically were significant employers and contributors to the economy, but they still remain that way. Forestry, about 7% of Campbell River jobs are directly related to forestry. We know that in industrial jobs, typically one industrial job will create 2 or 3 other jobs in a community.
Right.
And just as a quick FYI, 7% is about 1,200 jobs, so quite a number of jobs.
Okay.
But a solid economy is a diverse economy. And so supporting the industries that have made Campbell River the great place that it is, and growing new business, and in fact innovating within those sectors is the way of the future for sure.
So do you see a potential blending of the new technologies coming on board with the old industries of forestry and mining, as well as the new industry of aquaculture? Do you see the technology playing a role in those sectors?
Well, we know innovation in those sectors is critical for them to move forward. And we're seeing that happen. And in fact, here in Campbell River, we have a number of businesses in those sectors that are super innovative in both aquaculture and forestry. But, and yes, like so in that area, we're looking for it. And we're also looking at growing the sector because it's the way our businesses are going to survive. COVID has showcased that even our bricks and mortar retail businesses have had to embrace innovation in order to move forward.
And become a hybrid model.
And become a hybrid model. And we're not going back. It's not going to go back to how it was. We saw, even pre-COVID, we had a taste of, online shopping and those kind of things. But now more than ever, habits have formed, and COVID is going to be with us for a while. And so we're really looking to support our businesses and help them to develop that e-commerce platform.
Now, let's talk about supporting local for a minute and the whole e-commerce thing, because about 2 months ago, I was listening to a Sunday morning, CBC Sunday morning show, and they highlighted Amazon.
Yeah.
And Amazon is a problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is. Because what Amazon does is they will bring everybody onto their platform, but then they take 30% of every little transaction that goes out. So how on earth can, like, everybody goes, oh, I just want to support them on Amazon. Well, no, you're not supporting your local business by shopping on Amazon, even if it's a local business that's on Amazon, because they're not getting a big percentage of that payment back to them. So what I've started doing is I've always shopped local because I grew up in a small town.
Right.
And I like the little boutique shopping, the in-person. And now I make sure, like, I don't shop on Amazon. I try to do everything. If it's electronic, it's going to their, like Coho Books, go to their online store to make a purchase, as opposed to going through Amazon. So how do we get that messaging out to the greater community that that's the way to support local is?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because I think that that's a big part of our message as well. And I know we've been working together to make that happen. And I think I think we can clear up some misconceptions here as well, because I've actually seen on local social media posts people say, oh, I'm going to order from Amazon because it's so convenient. And the reality is our local businesses have done a fantastic job of serving us on their online platforms and even delivery. And so I know many businesses will deliver to your door. I've certainly experienced that myself, and others will have curbside pickup. They're there to make it happen for you in the best way possible. And so, yeah, we need to shop local. I think that that's happening more. I think people are recognizing the need for that. I know we're working on several projects to kind of focus on that. We've, unfortunately, we've called it the Blue Box program, but it is a, it's not a blue box. It's a beautiful blue box with a map of Campbell River on it. That we've been giving to our local businesses as kind of a way to draw in shoppers as well. But yeah, shopping local is critical, and our local businesses have online platforms and delivery.
Well, and I just want to put a plug out for Stonehouse Teas because they have been celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and they are doing delivery. I ordered a chocolate coconut loaf and a carrot cake and ordered it on Wednesday. It was delivered to my house on Friday.
Yeah, isn't that fantastic?
Oh, and it's delicious. It's her baking is absolutely delicious.
Well, I think that you mentioned that shop and you mentioned kind of boutique shops. Another thing I sometimes hear is, oh, there's not a lot of shopping in Campbell River. And I just think, are you kidding me? We have some fantastic and some really unique shops. Get out there and look.
Like the French Creek Collective.
That's another lovely one.
That is so unique.
Yeah.
It's
and
amazing.
you mentioned the bookstore. I mean, we have our independent bookstores, and those are things that add to the culture of our community as well.
Yeah, and the breadth of the fabric. Like we really do have so much that is offered here. And what I would say to the general population is when you are looking for sponsorship for your kids' sports team, it's not Amazon that's going to give you that sponsorship. It is the local stores that are going to support the local sports teams.
And they're employing people.
And they're employing people, which we need to be employed. Now, one of the challenges I would think for economic development is that you're trying to bring businesses to Campbell River, but now we have an added layer of challenge of no housing. So how do you, in your conversations with other ECDev officers from around the province, is everybody experiencing what we are, or are we and Vancouver Island unique to that?
Yeah, good question. No, we're not unique. It's definitely a problem in BC, and even in the smaller communities that I've lived in, experiencing the same thing, and it actually is a problem in Canada as well. So we do have a low vacancy rate. I think it also speaks to the fact that people want to live here. But we do have a number of housing units coming onto the market, and we see more and more construction happening.
Right.
So that will hopefully fill part of the void. And these are kind of interesting and new things to economic development. When I started out in this career, it really was business, retention, expansion, attraction. But now we talk about all these other things that are part of the equation as well.
Right. And does the homeless issue come into those conversations with your counterparts around the province?
Absolutely. It's a similar problem. I think, a number of years, probably decades of not enough housing units being built, and a number, this is not a topic for me to talk about, it's not my expertise, but we know that there's a number of reasons that this challenge exists. I know we as a city are really working hard with different stakeholders to address it. It's not being swept away. We all recognize that. And it is a challenge for sure, but it is definitely not unique to Campbell River.
Okay. We're just going to pause it right there for a sec. You're watching Insights in Business from the Tidemark Theatre in the City of Campbell River. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
It took a few tries. It probably took, an hour of just getting the feel for it.
To experience someone who struggles to do anything, but is so determined, and he has absolutely no fear.
There's so much craziness in this world that you have to do what floats your boat.
Welcome back to Insights in Business. Our guest today is Rose Klukas, the Economic Development Officer for the City of Campbell River. Now, Rose, how long have you been in your role?
Yeah, I moved to Campbell River mid-2016, so 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, where were you before that?
I came from northern BC, from the town of Kitimat on the north coast. Yeah.
All right. Now, how does Campbell River differ in the economic development piece from Kitimat?
Yeah, so interesting. I mean, there's a lot of similarities in that, again, our history here in Campbell River is based on the resource sector. Most of the work I did in Kitimat was related to industrial development.
Right.
And that's the biggest part of that economy. Here, of course, industry is a part of our economy and an important part of our economy. But when I came here, my focus switched to working with our small business community. And kind of for reference, a small business is under 100 employees. So virtually all of our businesses here in Campbell River. And I did that intentionally because I was new to the community. So my first months I went out and just spoke to different businesses to listen to them, to hear kind of what kind of supports that they would need. So in economic development, business retention and expansion is kind of the key word for that, working with your local businesses, people who've already invested in the community, helping them stay and grow. And so a lot of my focus is that.
Okay. Now, one of the local organizations on Vancouver Island, I would think would be really crucial to supporting your role, and that's Vancouver Island Economic Alliance, because of course they have the foreign trade zone, which would help some of the companies here in Campbell River. And then of course the Island Good campaign, which is extraordinary. I love the opening piece that in 2017, I think, when they started to test the products, they thought they would see, well, Island Good is a marketing campaign essentially, and they thought that they would see a jump of 2 to 3% in the buying power, and they saw a 16% increase in sales, which was shocking to me when.
Yeah, well, I mean, it points back to our earlier conversation about shop local.
Yes.
And actually, that is another program we offered our local businesses, recognizing that more than ever, always in business, but more than ever, every penny counts. And so we wanted to help our businesses subscribe to that program, the Island Good program. So we offered a 1-year license for businesses that qualified for that. I think we have about a dozen local businesses that have subscribed to that program. And what it does is it gives them a bit of place branding.
Right.
And I think that, and also actually allows them to tap into some other resources through Island Good at a reduced rate. So yes, our relationship with Vancouver Island Economic Alliance is very important. Yeah.
I think one of the things that, from a chamber's point of view, that we like about the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance is it is a regional body that represents the island. And that's unique in Canada. Like the foreign trade zone, the island is a foreign trade zone.
Yes.
And that is the only one in Canada that is not a single municipality, but rather a geographic area.
Well, you know what? We talk a lot about the uniqueness of Vancouver Island, and it is. It really is. Another group that I chair, I'm the president of, is our Vancouver Island Coast Economic Development Association, a smaller regional group. And we've embraced different ways of working together because we all have limited resources, limited capacity, and collaboration is really important. So I talked a little bit earlier about growing a tech ecosystem. I'm working with my colleagues in 7 other Vancouver Island communities to promote Vancouver Island as an area of innovation and tech growth. Because we have small population, and in the scope of the world, the more we work together, the more we're going to get noticed.
Right. Now, to the end of supporting tech, the city put in what they call Campbell River Advantage.
Yeah, so
let's
CR
talk about
Advantage.
that. CR Advantage.
So, and actually that kind of gave me a guiding post when I first came here to Campbell River. Our city council has made investment in infrastructure, in fiber infrastructure, which is really critical. And so we're able to offer, right now we have in a downtown loop, we're able to offer access to this fiber at a reduced rate from our major telcos. And you know, a number of years ago, council identified access to affordable fiber and equal upload and download, I think it's enterprise level fiber, as maybe a barrier to investment opportunities. And so we were the first, and I think we're still the only municipality on Vancouver Island that has a municipal broadband network. Certainly other communities in BC have it, but here on the island, we're the first.
Right. And then within the loop, where is the loop right now?
Well, it's a bit hard to explain, but it's right in our downtown not on Shoppers Road, but right behind it. And I can't explain it any better than that.
That's okay. And I understand.
But the map is online.
The map
so people
is
can
online.
look at it.
Okay.
Yes, on our
and it
city
is
site.
going to grow. It's not just going to be that. It's
We've
going
made
to
an investment
expand.
year over year on the line.
Okay.
And hope to continue that. I mean, again, COVID has presented challenges even to our own budgets.
Right.
But that is it's a hope to grow that line moving forward.
Okay. So in terms of COVID's impact on municipal budgets, that's, right across Canada and arguably the world, how is that impacting the economic development approach for 2021?
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe our approach is going to be the same. We have limited resources and my goal is to connect and support as many businesses possible with the resources that we have.
Okay.
So I work in the department along with an economic development analyst, and we have our operating budget to make the projects happen.
Okay.
And we're pretty good at leveraging our funds and so forth. But I think 2021 is going to look similar to 2020.
Okay.
COVID, again, is going to be here for some time. And we know that recovery is going to be some time. We heard numbers today that the retail numbers are not as good as Canada expected. And I don't think that's a surprise. And we're going into winter now, and that's going to add another level of challenge.
Now, one of the great things that has come out of this era of COVID is collaboration and partnership.
Yes.
So let's talk about your collaborative partnership that you have with Spring out of Vancouver.
Yeah, so we're very fortunate to be working with Spring, and Spring helps grow ecosystems.
Okay.
But I mean, again, we talked about working together and everybody's networks then connecting, right? And so through my relationship with Spring, we've been able to connect with a number of different things. In the immediate, we actually are offering a business resilience program for free to our business community here in Campbell River. It's easy to access. There's no test or pressure. In fact, it's set up into different modules that, mature businesses may only need to access part of it.
Okay.
If you're a new business, you may want to go through all the information that this business resilience program offers. It's intended to help you look at your business today, take an assessment of it, understand where you might need to make changes, and then implement a new plan. But I think one of the best things about it is twice a month, there's an Ask Me Anything session at lunchtime, and it's open to all people in the province because the program, we were the first to offer it in Campbell River, but now it's broadened to other communities in BC. And that connection happens at lunchtime twice a month, and I think it's a great way for businesses to learn from other businesses.
That's a super resource.
Right? Yeah, and it's free. At this point, we will have it available until mid-May.
Okay.
And so people can find it on our website as well. And always connect with me. I'm happy to direct you.
And they could start now, even though we're a bit through. Like they can start anytime.
Anytime.
Okay.
You can start anytime. Your business, where your business is at, it doesn't matter. It's a resource that's going to help everyone. Right. And the other thing it'll help is maybe you haven't been significantly impacted by COVID at this point in time. There are some areas that have actually seen some growth, but it'll help you build in resilience into your business plan, because we know COVID is one example of a disaster or crisis that can hit communities.
And there's no end in sight.
There's no end in sight, and again, we know. I think as we prepare for disasters, like when we talk about disaster recovery in the past, we probably thought fire or earthquake or flood, but now we know that we don't know what's ahead, and to build in that resilience is important.
Okay.
It'll also help some businesses say, you know what, I can't continue in the path that I've been going, and I need to completely pivot my business and do something different.
Right.
Oftentimes people are great entrepreneurs, and so they can actually change into a whole different business.
Okay. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Insights in Business. I'm Mary Ruth Snyder. We are coming to you from the Tidemark Theatre in the City of Campbell River. My guest today is Rose Klukas, who is the Economic Development Officer for the city. Now, Rose, one of the things that I'm super excited about is now Nexstream 2.0, which you've launched. This totally sets Campbell River apart from everybody else in Canada.
We are so fortunate, yes. So it was Nexstream 1.0, I talked a little bit about it beforehand. It was a learning experience for us.
Yes.
It was a unique partnership with the city and a private group of investors to make this happen. And so we learned a lot of things. We've just launched on October 1st, Nexstream 2.0.
Okay.
There's $300,000 worth of prizes on the table. And really, it's a competition intended to spark ideas and innovation within sectors that are important to our economy, to all of BC's economy.
Now, the two winners that just won Nexstream 1.0, now are they local or are they Vancouver? Or?
No, so thanks for asking, because actually a couple things about the two winners. Well, one winner was from Quadra Island,
Okay.
and one winner was from Vancouver.
Okay.
And so people might say, well, what's the point of that kind of an challenge or contest? And there's a number of reasons. One, it does bring exposure to Campbell River, but also a lot of these places are looking for other places to do business. In fact, you know, I'm getting a lot of cold calls since COVID from people in larger cities looking for new places to do their business because suddenly space is what everyone wants, right? But the other thing about the two winners that I'd like to kind of point out is what tech means. So one of our winners won in the renewable energy category and developed some technology to create a renewable energy, a portable generator using renewable energy.
Excellent.
So super cool. Our Quadra Island winner is using the parts of the fish that aren't sold to market and has created a number of fish sauces. And so would you think that that's technology?
Oh.
You know, most people would say, what? But that is, using technology, he was able to convert this product into fish sauces that will likely market all over the world.
And is he a chef?
He actually is a chef.
I was going to say,
Yes.
you're going to have a food background
Yes,
to
he actually
come
is a
up
chef.
with something like that.
And it was created some technology using fermentation and so forth. So super cool. But the point is,
very
technology is everywhere,
It
right?
is.
So if
Yeah.
you think, well, my idea isn't really technology, it might be. And in fact, this winner last week at our Q&A said, you know what, he started with a half an idea and now has a business.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that is an excellent note to end this show on. It's positive and it's uplifting, and it may be inspiration for somebody out there in the audience. So if you think that you have an idea, call Rose and see if it fits. Rose, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you, my pleasure.
You've been watching Insights in Business. Please join us again.